What's going on, traders? Darius here, back with a new YouTube video. It has been a long time since I posted here something, so it's definitely time to also update you guys about how the strategy works currently, because it has changed slightly since the last time. Principles mainly remained almost the same. There are a few changes, of course, and I updated through my whole journey, everything on Instagram. So that's my main account where I share everything on a daily basis. And I also have the Inner Circle mentorship where you will receive a step-by-step course, daily forecasts, and 2 Zoom calls per week. In today's video, guys, I would like to go over some nice trades that I managed to take this week, which have been also forecasted to the Inner Circle. It was the first one on the GBP/USD, a very nice short trade. The same on gold. Also there I was able to capitalize on a very big short trade. I closed it in the Zoom call that we had with the Inner Circle in the New York session and explained already there for them step by step on how I managed to take that trade, specifically afterwards what my confirmations have been to look for, what kind of opportunities we had, because you always have multiple options to take the same trading idea. And what I do basically as a forecast, I always send, I'm looking to short the GBP/USD when our entry candle confirmation will appear. And there are of course a few options. Maybe you are entering already at the top of that one short trend, maybe lower because you couldn't act at that specifically time, or you haven't seen the confirmation, or we're just waiting for additional confirmations, which is totally okay and is up to every single individual trader. So I would like to give you a briefly outlook on how these trades have been going on. I'm going to share with you here right now some MetaTrader screenshots so you can see the proofs that I've taken them on 2 different accounts, and let's get right into it. Here, guys, very quickly, just you will see my website. So if everyone who is interested in being part of the Inner Circle, like I said, you have all these things. You can book everything directly from the website. And I would say let's get right into the trade recap. So guys, here we have the GBP/USD trade. So I managed to take this one on Tuesday, which was in the London session. So I holded that one for quite a long time. Also set it up here, my target, and I closed it a bit earlier. So I would just go over this trade step by step with you together, guys, and just share with you the confirmations that made me to take this trade and what kind of opportunities we had. Also would like to go into the principles that normal traders, I would say, like standard strategies, would take this type of trade and what we're doing differently. Because from my point of view, the whole Forex market works that way, that you are trying to trade like the algo. So let me just give you a briefly outlook about what I mean by that. So trading like the banks, that's what you hear very often on social media. People trying to tell you that, yeah, they're trading like these big banks. Your entry are their your stop loss is their entry, and all these things. And it's everything at the end, of course, marketing, because you as a human being, you're not able to trade like those banks. You are able to understand what they're doing, but at the end, it works totally differently. You don't have that big cash amount, of course not. So you are actually just a normal retail trader at the end. You can build up your hedge fund and all these things. That's a different story. But let me explain you why it is so important to understand that one thing with confirmations and reasons for you as a trader. The thing is, all these participants in the Forex markets, like hedge funds, normal retail trader, financial institutions, big banks and so on, normal retailers like I just mentioned, they all do open and exit trades based off of confirmations and any reasons that they declare. So also if you have like an EA bot who is trading for you and making automated money, they are programmed. And how does that program work at the end? Well, like I just said, you need reasons for that. And there are complex algos and there are algos which are not that complex. And what you can see here on the charts, the price when it's moving up and down, up and down, up and down, This is called the algo. We can call it also central bank algo. That's how I do it, at least. And my job as a trader is basically to understand what this algo is about to do. And this is my strategy at the end. So I'm trying to relate candle by candle why it even occurred. And that's like my kind of secret, that I found a way to relate what these candles are here for. So every candle that I see, I have 100% solution, or I have 100% explanation for every single individual candle, why they are here on the charts. Is that currently the holy grail? Am I just printing money out of nowhere because I know exactly what the market is about to do? Of course not. So it's not the holy grail or something like that. It's just a strategy which is made up to relate everything in the Forex market. SMC, for instance, has a lot to do with market structure and order blocks, which means sometimes in your analysis you will figure out that you have 5 valid order blocks, but you don't know which one is going to work. On all these 5 order blocks, you will get the break of structure confirmation, and you're going to enter that trade, and you will have 5 stop loss hits. This is exactly what I'm not looking for. So I know already, like from the front, which order blocks are even valid, and then I'm also playing out the reactions to see if they are going to be considered valid. But very often I know already upfront that a specific order block is like not valid for many reasons. You can see that in the charts, but also for me, I don't know that kind of thing always for a fact. I can just anticipate it based on the past scenarios that I've seen. So basically, I can relate it, but also me, I cannot always identify it. This is something which I'm able to do better and better with time. So if I compare right now, like my results with a year ago to now, this is a big difference. So that's exactly what my strategies at the end made up to, and I would like to give you right now in this video a deeper look into it to explain you like why at certain points in the market you will get confirmations for normal retail traders, and when to know that this kind of confirmation is a trap area for you to not take these trades, and when sometimes it is definitely correct to take the trade exactly there because that is the POI for price to reverse. So let's go into this price example on the GBP USD. Just going to open up here, clean your chart right next to it just to show you. So here you can see very quickly the trade. You see price was moving up and then went crazy to the downside, and that was exactly the trade that I was looking for. So I'm going to go to the price action from Tuesday, and well, we'll just go and backtest the whole sessions that we had here. So let's go, for instance, here on a higher time frame. Of course, also me, top-down analysis is something which I do on a regular basis, very important, and that's what you should do as well from my point of view. So just looking at a lower time frame is like you having less informations. Important is to have the informations from all time frames. So let's have a look on what happened specifically at this price chart. So if you understand order blocks, you will very fast understand that you have here a bearish order flow. So you see price moving down, moving up, then again here tapping into this, which will tell you that this one here is potentially the next order block. Here you have different options on how to map order blocks. Of course, you can map it out like this, mapping out like this. So you have already here a lot of potential scenarios depending on the way on how you're viewing these things. Here in between, what I see always is like you have here some nice liquidity. People like to call this inducement. Was a very popular topic for a long time. I can tell you inducements are not the holy grail or something like that, like many would like to know. So let's get into it. Basically, what we can see here is price is moving down. Here you can also see very nice price grabbed here some form of liquidity, or it is a break of structure. That's like the thing, because people will view the whole market like this. they see here BOS, they see here another BOS, and the assumption, or the normal retail assumption, is, especially when you see price forming this, will be like this. Let me just remove. You will have here this kind of trend line. Okay, so that was probably the way in how I map it out right now, was probably my view as well. So I had this perspective to the market for a very, very long time, because I've always seen like price creating breakout structure, grabbing liquidity and so on. And what I would have done normally in the past, very easy, is to see, okay, price will push up here and will drop down lower, sweeping the next low to give you the next breakout structure. Now, I'm going to tell you that this is not going to happen. And what I want to share here with you in this video is that you should always question that. Whenever something seems to be very logic, right? So very easy, like in this case, yeah, we'll move up, we'll go down. This is like exactly then, very often, that would not be the case. I can promise you this already. Just try to question that. It worked, like in this case, 1 time, 2 times. Here it was a different situation because it didn't tap on an order block or something. But here 1 time, 2 times. Making it for the 3rd time here. Do you think it will happen 1 more time? So obviously it will not happen that. Why? Because what price is doing here is actually accumulating positions. They drive prices to the downside, and that way, because price is dropping down lower, more people will be in a short position, which is super logic because price is just dropping to the downside. So that's what you need to understand already here. Price is going to drop to the downside, accumulate these positions, and then at some point it will just totally reverse against you. And this is the point that you need to find out. You need to know right now, will it go up first and then down, or will it go just straight up, or will it just go down? So you have a few options. Let me just show you on a lower time frame on how you can have a look on this, because that's how I traded it at the end. So we see here price going higher, making here like one break of structure followed by the next break of structure, right? So you can call this BOS, whatever you do. So everything is all right. Like, I view this as a sweep of liquidity potentially for price to drop down lower. Now I go straight to M15, trying to understand what price is about to do. I see here price tapping into some form of order block. So price just tapped into this order block and gave you a huge reaction to the upside. So more than likely, I think the majority are going to look here for some buys anyway. For me, in that case, I was like not quite confident about what price really going to do. I just mapped out like here a potential order block where price could tap into it. As you can see, looks like it was almost a tap, can be liquidity as well. So what I like to do in situations like this, when I'm not sure if this is liquidity or if price will just go up from here, I'm just waiting, just waiting for some additional confirmations. As you can see in this particular case, price just went to the downside, sweeping that liquidity and starts to move to the upside. You can see here very nice bullish order flow from price, continue to move up higher, and yeah, pretty interesting price action. So for me personally, I was not even able here to capitalize on anything because I was not really looking to buy from here or something. I was just focusing on some shorts because I was not quite sure about where price is about to reverse. Will it grab this liquidity from this, or is it going to go straight from here to the downside? So I was just mainly watching the M1 time frame, and you can see on the M1, pretty simple. What price is doing is the basic order flow. So here, as you can see, just from order block to order block, creating this bullish order flow. And here, that was a quite interesting price action because exactly here, many would look for some shorts. So you can see this one. And of course, also me, I was ready to take shorts at any time, especially after I've seen here kind of that liquidity sweep here from the left. As you can see, price tapped into it here. So let's just go over this price action in general, candle by candle, so I can explain to you what I mean by this and why this is so interesting to follow. Okay, what happens now? Price is moving up higher. Let me just probably delete all of these things so I'm not confusing you too much. I think the idea is pretty simple. I just don't want to have these lines. I just have it right now for explanation purposes, because I don't know like right now what kind of education you've had so far to better have these things in your mind. Me, normally I'm just using a few line charts because I'm just looking for price to tap into my PYs. I'm just monitoring very quickly the reaction, and then I just take my trades. So like here in this case, price swept here some significant form of liquidity, which is this one. I also know that the order block is exactly from here till there. So I have here a big range of order block where price could tap into it and reverse afterwards. So I have my eyes definitely on the price action here, looking for some shorts. But for now, everything is bullish. Now, many SMC traders or also retail traders would say something differently. They've been looking already here for this BOS. Is this example for you right now relatable? Like, this is what people like to see. Let me check. So let me explain you this piece of price action, because I think this is something where the majority of the traders are doing failures, where they lose their positions not even one single time, but maybe multiple times. And I'm just going to go over all these type of traders in this example. So for instance, also me, I was looking for shorts. I'm honest with you guys. I'm looking for this trade like the whole day almost, because price didn't give me my confirmations. So I was just sitting here. The short could occur at any moment. But what you need to understand is when this moment will happen. So let's go over this price action. For me, it's like this. M1, M15, like I just explained. Price is going to the upside, okay? Broke here some kind of structure, and right now it is quite bullish. What you need to understand is right now that you have like this POI, which is a form of liquidity. Before price tapping into the specific POI where it could reverse, it will go and manipulate you as often as it can. It will give you confirmations that price is about to reverse. Let me tell you here a very nice example. For instance, you got here structure, which if price will break it, it's going to be considered price is about to reverse. So let's have a look at this. Price moving down, here, up, down, preparing what? Liquidity. This is currently liquidity. So let's see. Running that liquidity, coming back and dropping down until we broke structure. This break of structure, especially when you see these big candles, many SMC traders will assume here, hey, this is a valid break of structure. I'm going to look at the order block for some shorts. Here, looking for some shorts. Also here, looking to sell. So basically, all these traders are looking here to short from these order blocks. And that's exactly the perspective that you need to understand right now. Are you going to short it from here or not? Me personally, what I'm expecting in a situation like this is that price is going to sweep the high. So for me, almost always when I see so many order blocks, maybe even the one here, the extreme, will be always considered from SMC traders as a valid POI. You can see here exactly, these are the order blocks that they map out. And what price is about to do is, it's going to react here on this demand area, and it will just push all the way to the upside. That's exactly how market is formed. You see this here, that's your current context where price is located, and it's just going to push up, down, and will continue to move up higher. Everything on the higher time frame right now is still bullish. So the lower time frame right now is trying to trick you. It's trying to give you the illusion that price is about to move from here to the downside. And that's exactly the way how they are collecting the liquidity. Now let's see how price is reacting from here. So you see it taps here perfectly into the order block. We can further refine it like this. You see it's going up higher from here. And when it's approaching the order blocks, which are considered as a POI for SMC traders to look from here short. No matter if you take it from here to here, you put stop loss here. So price is going to just go with 3 big bullish candles and hunt you. So that's the harsh reality. This is the life of an SMC trader. And that's what you need to understand, is that price is still bullish. The pressure still comes from the downside the whole time. And now let's see what price is going to do right now. Let me just delete all these things. And let's just play the same game one more time. So where is the break of structure? More than likely if this will get broken. So we can use BOS here. Price moves down, break structure, correct. Now, I don't know how you're mapping it out. Like many SMC traders do look already here for some shorts. Many are waiting for price to go down lower, like here. So now price is forming new form of order blocks. As you can see, it's still moving to the downside. So let's just readjust the analysis. So this is a supplier at the top. Here it can be this, or yeah, let's just use this one for instance. So you see already for me, this is very unusual to map the market like this, because I know already what price is about to do is go hunt this, because we want to come to the POI here at the top. Otherwise price won't retrace. So will not change or something. So look at this, boom, boom. One more time, 2 big candles. Why these 2 big candles? Because there is the most liquidity at that moment available. And only then we're at the POI where we can consider right now even short. So for me, normally I should have looking here for some longs, but I didn't manage to take longs. I was just looking for the confirmations for shorts. So 2 times retailers have been here induced to go to the downside, and price was just hunting the liquidity from here. So let's see what's going on right now. Where is from here the break of structure? Many would say here is already the first break of structure. So let's see what happens. Also here, price immediately goes up higher, sweeping it, liquidity, and continues to just move up higher. The next one will be probably here. So let's see what happens. Break of structure. Okay, what is price about to do? We even tap right now on the order block. Everyone is looking right now again for the short. That's exactly what I just realized. For me, the whole price action was prepared to see this as liquidity. It just tapped into some form of demand down there here. And from my point of view, price is about to go up higher. Now, identifying like this type of situation can be a little bit difficult. Also for me, this is a lot of experience that I can recognize this specific pattern or this specific behavior, because this one happens multiple times. So price always likes to manipulate it a little bit to make you believe it will go down lower, but what it's doing in reality is just going to collect liquidity. And then, as you can see here, we finally grabbed the last form of liquidity, and now we know that price is ready to drop from there to the downside. So now you got your break. So for me, exactly at the top, when I've seen like this, let me show you. Here is where I re-entered the market. We can also consider, like in this case, classic BOS. So you see, not using any special tips and tricks. At the end, it's still like, in this case, classic BOS entry. That's the order block, okay, where price then actually mitigated price. And now from here, let's just do this a little bit smaller so it's not interrupting us. So now what is price doing from here? From here is price to potentially give us a pullback to the upside, hunt here some form of liquidity, and then dropping crazy to the downside. For me, I was already in the trade, so I was not really expecting price to come up higher. In this case, it's really tapping into the POI and then moving like crazy to the downside, like I just explained to you here. So nice BOS here, one more time coming into this POI, and at the end I decided to close here at the specific target, and then price, as you can see, really hit a target but reversed afterwards. So yeah, that was the first trade. The second one was also a pretty simple one. It was a gold trade. So what we have here was basically price sweeping here some form of big liquidity to the left, giving us a reaction, and now here, like always, let me just open up also here a new clean chart for you to explain you the gold trade and how I took it. Also for me, it was like quite an easy approach, but again, it's a quite unusual one because many would wait too long for the entry confirmation. Let me show you what I did. So price here grabbed a ton of liquidity, can be considered as Asia high and so on. Price sweeping that, coming down, and for me, I was already here tagged in. That was my order block. Took the short at 1.96350, stop loss above, and a little bit higher, and targeting the Asia low in this case. I was even looking for, I closed the trade early on because yeah, I wanted to make sure like price could potentially reverse. As you can see here, somewhere in the area closed, and then price boom spiked to the upside, came back down. I can't remember if we had there some small news events or something like this, but also here I can explain you this example pretty easy. Many will wait for this classic BOS thing here, so the price will break structure from there, which at the end is really giving you like the true entry. But I think it's quite hard to identify right now what is the order block, because it looks like everything is already fully mitigated, because you see prices going, sweeping the liquidity, and then actually tapping into something there, and then it's moving to the downside. So I would say that's a quite difficult approach here to take into this one. I would also say that that was a pretty easy setup to take it from there as well if you missed the first one. So I was already in this trade. I've seen this, many would look to buy. That's exactly why I just kept on holding it at the end, because we have not cleared some significant liquidity. We just pushed down. That was just a pullback. So if you have a look this from this point of view, we only dropped down, pullback, and then we really had the crazy movement to the downside. That was basically it, like 2 simple trades. Both of them have been forecasted in the inner circle. What you need to do is to watch price action and to use our entry confirmation models. Pretty simple. Of course, it will take time to really learn that. There are a bunch of situations, and this is why we have 2 times per week a Zoom call where I explain you always candle by candle the whole price action confirmation, of course in a more detailed way, as you are going to know exactly what we're doing there. But every week you're going to learn alongside with us, because that's super important in trading, that you're not just like watching one video, watching one course, and then you are alone in this space and you're trying to figure out how to put these things together. What I think is super important is that someone who can make consistent and profitable results and also understands the strategy pretty good, that this type of person is going to present you every single week the whole education that he has, every single candle by candle, explaining it to you in a form of a Zoom call or something like that, so you can always learn week by week, and through this you can get always better and better in trading. That's exactly how you will learn the fastest way from my point of view, and it will still take time, so it's not like this that you just join, you get the strategy, and like in 6 months you're a crazy profitable trader. Everything has to do a lot with mindset and psychology, as well as understanding the technicals. But understanding this type of technical may take up to 1 year from my point of view, and then with this powerful strategy that you can relate every single movement, you will see there's a bunch of more things that you need to know. So I can never cover up this in a few videos. That's exactly what we have 2 times per week, a whole Zoom call doing this, because there are so much things to know, and there are always a few situations which are more rare, some are very often, and whenever we can see these scenarios which do occur very often, we know already that we're going to make crazy profits. So these are our A+ setups, so you can even increase your risk because the chances are super high. So yeah guys, that's basically it. For everyone who is like interested in joining us, want to know more about how we trade, this is our page. Make sure to check it out. You're going to be member in our Discord. You're going to have here your login to this page, can have a look on all the content that we have. That's basically it guys, okay? I wish you all a nice trading day and so on. Nice trading week, and see you next time. Bye bye.